TrunkNets was kind enough to send me this license plate bracket to try out in addition to the tow hook. So this is actually the updated version of the other license plate bracket that they have, but the difference with this one, as I'm sure you could tell, is that it has various mounting locations. So that means that it's adjustable. You can mount it as low as you want or as high as you want depending on the distance of the holes, and it should be suitable for any Subaru from 2000 to 2022 according to the site. So there's not much to see here. It looks like it just comes with 4 Torx screws, a couple screws to mount it on your bumper, and the actual tool itself with a couple washers. So let's go ahead and get this thing open. I'm gonna try it out on my 2018 WRX. So there we have it. The plastic is pretty sturdy. I mean, for the price, you can't complain. Pretty solid piece to me. So let's go ahead and get this thing installed. But first, I gotta remove the tow hook license plate frame. And just real quick, if you're trying to remove these screw covers right here, they're pretty impossible to remove by hand. So I suggest grabbing some pliers, needle nose pliers, and just twisting it one way, and it should come off, I hope. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and proceed with the removal of this thing and then install the other bracket. Before we move on to the next step, let me first mention that you need a bracket if you decide you no longer want to use the tow hook side mount, because you can't mount your license plate directly onto the bumper here. The holes won't line up. The holes are narrower than the actual mounting spots, so you'll need a bracket to be able to center mount your plate, which is why we have this right here. First, start by removing your plate delete if you have one of these, or if not, then just move on to the next step. So if you already have a plate delete, then chances are you have these little bumper plugs that are right here. I did talk to the company. I let them know that it'll be easier for folks to install the license plate bracket if they provided the bumper plugs. They didn't do it for my kit, but I'm hoping they would make that change in the future. Instead, they provide you with these screws, but I'm not a big fan of using the screws on the bumpers unless it already has screws in them, meaning there's a backing that it'll screw into. For this bumper, it's just a pre-drilled hole, and so I can't utilize these screws. So what I'm gonna do is just reuse the Allen bolts that was holding on the plate delete. So now that we got this out of the way, it's time to mount this thing. So basically, if your car can utilize these holes right here, then feel free to do that. But for mine, it's gonna have to use these openings right here. But the cool part is I can go as high as I need up to this point if I choose to, or this low if I wanted. I'm just gonna go to the center, just like so. I think it looks good like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing mounted. Feel free to use a supplied washer for this, but I'm gonna use the ones that I have right here. So that should do it. So next up, you wanna use the supplied Torx screws to mount your plate. So I actually have a cover that I wanna install. This one is flat. It's not concaved or anything like that, so I'm able to use these little screws. So do not use any longer bolts on the top right here, just because it's so close to your bumper. If you use anything longer than what they supply, then chances are you'll hit your bumper, and you don't wanna do that. Okay, so just make sure they're snug. You don't need to over tighten them, and then you should be good. So we got it fully installed, and this is how it sits on the front bumper. You can tell it's just flat, nice and sleek, and it's very thin, which is what I like about it. So as with anything you mount on your car, if you pull hard enough, it will come off. So, I mean, don't test it that way. Obviously, through normal driving, it's not gonna go anywhere. If these bumper plugs can hold your plate delete for as long as they've been on there, then you should feel pretty comfortable with having a front plate. And then just a quick top view. It's actually not touching the bumper. It's just close enough. Yeah, it's perfect. I like the way it looks. It's flat, doesn't stick out, and I think it's sleek. So if you're looking for a low-cost solution, then I suggest checking these guys out. I'll link everything in the description below. And again, the brand is TrunkNets. These guys sell a whole bunch of accessories for the car, but mainly the products I use are the license plate solutions. So if you're in a pinch and need something, I suggest just picking up one of these. It's quick and easy, and it is a cheap solution compared to buying an OEM bracket. That's that. I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.